qualities that seemed almost supernatural. By the age of 5, he could lift weights no adult in the village could manage and solve complex puzzles with ease. However, these gifts came with a dark side that no one, not even Bayo, fully understood. As Bayo grew older, his talents became more pronounced. By the age of 10, he was tutoring the older children and assisting elders with tasks that seemed impossible for a child his age. But with these gifts came isolation. Other children began to avoid him, intimidated by his abilities. Even the adults whispered behind his back, calling him unnatural. The village began to regard him with suspicion, and Bayo felt the weight of their stares every time he left his home. He found solace only in his mother, who always told him that he was destined for greatness. But as much as Aduni tried to comfort him, even she couldn't ignore the growing tension in the village. One evening, as Bayo walked home after helping the village chief fix a broken fence, he noticed something strange in the woods. A shadow, tall and looming, seemed to follow him at a distance. When he quickened his pace, so did the shadow. His heart raced, but he refused to look back. By the time he reached his home, the shadow had disappeared, but the feeling of being watched lingered. That night, Bayo dreamt of a faceless figure calling his name, urging him to venture into the woods. When he awoke, a sense of dread washed over him. Something was coming, and he had no idea how to stop it. As the days passed, more mysterious events unfolded. Bayo began to hear strange voices, whispers in the wind that seemed to know his every move. He tried to ignore them, but they grew louder, more insistent. The village elders noticed his increasingly anxious behavior and held a secret meeting. They had always feared Bayo's power and believed that his presence might bring misfortune upon the village. They decided that something had to be done to contain him. Unaware of the elders' plotting, Bayo continued to grapple with the voices, unsure if they were real or a figment of his imagination. One afternoon, Bayo's world was turned upside down when a stranger arrived in the village. The man, clad in a dark cloak, claimed to be a messenger from a distant land. His piercing eyes seemed to see through everyone, but they lingered on Bayo longer than anyone else. "You are the one," the man said cryptically, "the child greater than many." His words sent a chill down Bayo's spine. How did this man know about the legend? The messenger gave Bayo a cryptic warning. "Your gifts are both a blessing and a curse. Choose wisely, for the path you walk leads to power or ruin." And with that, the man disappeared as mysteriously as he had arrived. Fearful of what the messenger's words meant, Bayo tried to distance himself from his abilities, hoping that by suppressing them, he could lead a normal life. But his powers refused to be contained. The more he tried to ignore them, the stronger they became. Objects began to move on their own, and Bayo found himself able to predict events before they happened. It wasn't long before the villagers started to fear him openly, and even his mother seemed uncertain about how to protect him. Desperate and confused, Bayo turned to the village priest, seeking guidance. The priest, a wise man who had served the village for decades, listened intently to Bayo's story. "The legend is real," the priest said, "but it has been misunderstood. You are not greater than others because of your power alone. It is your heart that will determine your fate." He then told Bayo about an ancient artifact hidden deep in the forest. When Bayo finally found the artifact, he stood frozen before it, torn between the allure of ultimate power and the fear of losing himself. The voices screamed in his head, urging him to take it. But at the last moment, he heard another voice, his mother's. "Your greatness lies not in your strength, but in your choices," she had always told him. With a heavy heart, Bayo turned away from the artifact. The faceless figure reappeared, furious at his decision, and a battle ensued. Bayo fought with all his might, not against the figure, but against the darkness within himself. In the end, Bayo triumphed, not through power, but through restraint. The artifact crumbled to dust, and the voices disappeared. When he returned to the village, the people welcomed him, having realized that it wasn't his abilities that made him a threat, it was fear. Bayo had become greater than any number of children, not because of his supernatural gifts, but because of his wisdom and heart. The legend, as it turned out, had never been about power. It was about the strength to choose the right path, even when tempted by darkness. Bayo's journey had not been an easy one, but in the end, he understood that true greatness came from within. He had faced his fears, conquered his demons, and returned home not as the feared child of legend, but as a beacon of hope for his people. And so, the story of the only child who was greater than numbers of children became a new legend in Obetun, a tale of courage, wisdom, and the power of choice.